We were traveling Sankirtan in Rajasthan. So just a week before Prabhupada left, we came back to Vrindavan. And we would distribute books from our van in Vrindavan. Outside the gate, we would park the van and we would sit on the van, and whoever came, we would distribute books. So that particular day that Srila Prabhupada left us, I was distributing books, and then I was taking prasad. And every day, throughout the day, there would be soft kirtans in Srila Prabhupada's room. And you could understand that was a regular kirtan, softly played for Srila Prabhupada. But while I was taking prasad, the kirtan that all of a sudden exploded into, it was the kirtan of anguish, of pain. I could feel it. I knew Prabhupada. He was either about to go or he was already gone. So I didn't finish my prasad and I rushed into Srila Prabhupada's room in Vrindavan, and everybody was crying. Srila Prabhupada left. So there was some hysteric manifestation from the devotees. But everybody was in a state of anxiety because Srila Prabhupada left us. So then we were asked to leave, all the devotees, so only some senior, close disciple of Srila Prabhupada were to prepare Srila Prabhupada. So they washed him and dressed him and put him on a palanquin and brought him to the temple. And you can see in the final lesson, it's all there. And then Srila Prabhupada was placed on his Vyasasan, and he was very supple. Prabhupada's face was like he was taking rest. Though his figure was emaciated because of the disease he was having. But there was no sign of, it was just beautiful to see Srila Prabhupada, though it was painful. Then it was all night kirtans and bhajans by different devotees. And then in the morning we took him on a palanquin throughout the streets of Vrindavan to all the major temples. And then it was around maybe 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, I don't remember the exact time. We brought him back. And by that time they had prepared the Samadhi. And Srila Prabhupada was placed inside. And though I already had passed, Prabhupada left at 7 and Srila Prabhupada was put into Samadhi at maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon. When they put Prabhupada down, his body was, there was no rigor mortis. Prabhupada was, they had to hold him up because all the limbs were loose. So these are the Rakshan of great personalities, acharyas. Then Prabhupada was, was buried, and there was a pole with a flag to recognize Prabhupada's actual position. And then the next day we went to Govardhan with Srila Prabhupada Murti, with all the devotees, and we had Govardhan Parikrama, and different sannyasis would give lectures in remembrance of Srila Prabhupada. But there was a, of course I didn't know what was going on behind the scene, the subterfuges of the 11 acharyas and the scheming of the GBC to take over power. So we didn't know any of that. So we, we had, because Prabhupada taught us to follow authorities, and we had full trust in the authorities. And without knowing, all the in and outs of their schemings, we would follow that. So when they declared the 11 acharyas, we thought that that was what Prabhupada wanted. Anyway, that's another subject. But the mood of the devotees was mostly of the devotees, unless you were in the inner circles who knew, especially I was just 2 years in the movement, so I didn't know anything. But many devotees knew what was going on behind the scenes. But the devotees definitely, there was a loss, a great loss. We were like, we had no leaders. Our spiritual master had gone. So it was a painful time, no doubt.